we'll be talking about today. So my name is Raul. I'm the partner manager here at Referral Candy. Referral Candy is an app for e-commerce stores that allows them to run customer referral programs. So if you want to unleash the power of word of mouth sales, if you want your customers to talk more about your brand, this is something that you can check out at referralcandy.com. With me today, it's Kata Gatso, who is the CRO specialist at Optimonk, and I'm going to welcome today, Kata. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Hi everyone. I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. I can't wait to present my presentation to everybody in the room.
Absolutely, I'm very excited to wait for everyone to hear. I've actually guys listened to Kata's presentation during our practice sessions, and it's actually very interesting. I recommend that everyone here has a notebook or open some sort of Word document on your computer because there's a lot to be learned today. For those of you who don't know what Optimonk is, it's an on-site retargeting platform that helps online stores increase conversion rates and get more leads by recovering lost visitors. So that's something you can check out as well. Just some quick notes before we actually dive into the webinar. So it will be about 60 minutes long, depending on the number of questions that we get through the webinar and at the end. This has been recorded and will be sent to everyone who joined. If you have any questions, please use the chat box, the same chat box that you used to tell me where you're listening from. And we'll stop several times during the webinar to answer those questions, but also at the end, we'll have a Q&A session. So again, that's perfect timing to do it. And if you're thinking about setting up either a referral program or an on-site retargeting strategy for your store and would like to try out either Optimonk or Referral Candy or both of them, actually, why not? Stay until the end of the webinar because we're going to give out extended trials on both platforms. So if you're interested, yeah, stick to the end and we'll tell you how you can claim those rewards. All right, so this is what we'll be learning today during the webinar. We have divided in two. The first part will be, I'll be talking about how to improve conversion rates, website traffic, and email opt-in conversion rates. Again, all these topics that we're going to cover today, I think Kata will agree with me on this, is that all these topics that we're going to mention today are super broad. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of content out there about each one of these, but we wanted to focus on the ones that we think are probably the most crucial ones, and give some ideas and give some actionable tips about each one of them. But actually, some of these items that we'll be describing today are worth an entire webinar and something we'll probably do in the future. But again, we just wanted to focus on these ones. Kata will be talking about how to increase sales. Actually, I typed sales twice there. How to increase sales segmentation, how to increase your email subscribers, and how to communicate to your visitors. So that will be the second part of the webinar. All right, so let's dive into talking about conversion rates. So if I'm assuming that everyone here in this room are e-commerce store owners, so I'm pretty sure that you know what conversion rate is, but if there's anyone that doesn't know, a conversion rate can be defined as the percent of visitors who take a desired action, which if we translate this into e-commerce language, basically means how many visitors are making a sale on your online store. So let's say that you have a conversion rate of 0.1%. That means that if you have about 1,000 visitors, only one of them are actually making a sale, and that could be okay, I guess. Depending on the e-commerce store that you're running, that could be even an okay conversion rate. But the problem is that you're losing money if you don't optimize your conversion rate. Okay, and so I wanted to give you guys 4 tips or 4 ideas on how you can improve your conversion rates that it's probably not going to need a lot of time to implement, some of them. So let's go over them. So one of them is using high quality images and large images, and I'll show you some examples of this. Adding trust badges and trust seals. I'll talk about that in a little bit. How to add more customer reviews and user generated content, and adding a live chat so you can talk to your customers pretty much in real time. Okay, so let's focus on high quality images first. So there's a study done by Visual Website Optimizer that says that larger product images increase sales by 9%. Okay, and this is a study that they run, or an experiment that say that they run with a e-commerce retailer from the Czech Republic. Actually, the second biggest e-commerce retailer from Czech Republic. So you can imagine a very large store selling millions of transactions a year. And so I actually the content obviously is in Czech, so that doesn't really matter, but you can figure it out. This looks like, I would say, like a typical e-commerce store. They're selling kitchen suppliers here, so it's blenders, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, they have a small product picture. They have quite a lot of content about the product, the purchase button, the price, and everything. Um, and but they're putting a lot of emphasis in the text, in the written content, and they have a small picture. So this is the original one. This is how it looked before they run the experiment, and then they run two iterations. One of them with a larger product picture. As you can see, we can look at both of them. And the description was either a little bit shorter, or they made it seem like it was actually shorter, but they put more emphasis on the picture, which was larger. And then they run a second iteration where they completely erase the text description, and they just put it on the product page instead of the product feed. And as you can see, they put pretty much all the focus on the pictures, on very large pictures, and that turned into a 9% increase in sales with $0 spent in marketing. Now, what do you guys think could be the reason for this? So you can type your answer here in the chat box. My take on this is because, well, most of the purchases that we do online are usually based on emotions and feelings, and we always want to see how the product looks like before we actually receive it in our house. I mean, that's probably the main barrier of e-commerce, the fact that we can't touch the physical product until we receive it in our house. So by putting larger images, especially for some products like could be like clothing, for example, putting pictures that are high quality and they're very large, you can get to see them almost as if you were touching them. And so it's actually something that there's a lot of different experiments like this one that you can go and check out online. But this is something I wanted to bring you guys because it was very smart how just by increasing the size of the pictures, they were able to increase sales by 9%. And again, close to $0 spent in marketing, just the time of developers editing the website. So the second conversion rate optimization technique that I brought today, it's adding trust badges or trust seals. So this, actually, I'm going to show the example first. So these type of seals, basically what they say is that, hey, I'm a legitimate store. Okay, this is not a scam. I'm not going to take your money and run away. You can feel safe through the entire shopping experience, and it just basically helps you build credibility and trust. Okay, just again, let your customers know that your store is not a scam, or even better, let your visitors know that your store is not a scam, because I know that you are running your store and you know that you're not going to take anyone's money, but most, well, people who are visiting your website don't know you and don't know the store. So you need to make them feel safe by visiting your website, especially those who are landing on your website for the first time, and maybe they're not going to make a purchase right away, but they'll probably leave with a good feeling to come back. So you need to, again, have them rest assured that your store is a legitimate business. And I brought some examples. This is Blue Mountain Media. This is a digital agency, and they reported that they improved their conversion rate by 42% after just adding a very signed seal to their website. Same example that happened with virtualsheet.com. They saw an increase in conversions by 31% just by adding a very signed trust seal. So again, they didn't have anything on their website that said, look, we're a legitimate business. And just by adding one of these seals that say, look, these are certified companies, these are verified companies, they were able to give this credibility or provide this credibility to their customers. A third example that I brought is US Cutter. They increased conversions by 11% after adding just an SSL trust mark. So again, if this is something that you don't have on your website, try to get certified by one of these companies, try to get verified by one of these entities, because it's crucial in terms of how do you communicate with your customers that you're a legitimate business and that they're not going to have any sort of issues during the shopping experience. The third one, it's third way to increase your conversion rate that I want to talk to you guys about. It's increasing the number of customer reviews and the quality of the customer reviews, and also getting more user-generated content on your website. Now, remember what I said at the beginning. Most of the things we'll be talking about today deserve an entire webinar, and we actually did an entire webinar on user-generated content a few weeks ago. I don't know if you, any of you guys were here, but you can actually go and check out the webinar. You can watch it again on try.referralcandy.com/past webinars. We talked about user-generated content with an app that's specifically focused on user-generated content, which is Looks. And basically what they do is that they help Shopify stores get picture reviews from their customers. And so if you were at that webinar, some of the main outcomes that we got from that session was that customer reviews with photos increased conversion by 26%. This is actually a study that Looks did, that they run this study within their customer base. So they were able to analyze their data, and they saw on average an increase in conversion by 26% just by adding reviews with pictures. These are actually some of the examples of companies that are using pictures in their customer reviews. So you're actually getting the best of both worlds, which is getting customer reviews, but also getting user-generated content. Now, as you can see here, you have a professionally taken picture, which is a hammock, for example, and then you have lots of pictures of hammocks that have been taken by the customers. Now, as you can see, the professional picture looks a lot better. You have all the product, all the items of the product, like the cords, you got the hooks, the bag, everything. It's perfectly posing for the picture. Well, in some of the pictures that you see here on the pictures that have been submitted by customers, sometimes the hammock is not even the main part of the picture, or it's kind of blurry, or the lighting's not the best. But that doesn't matter. The fact that that picture has been taken by a real person, by a customer, and especially by someone that doesn't have any sort of affiliation with the store is actually it gives you a lot of credibility as a store, because it means, first of all, that you got customers and that their customers are happy enough to recommend your product to your to other potential customers. And so we actually, something that we said during the webinar is the fact that user-generated content is probably the e-commerce equivalent of physically touching the product, because you are getting very close to what it means to have a real experience with your product. And what I said before about professional taking pictures versus customer pictures, customers trust user-generated photos 12 times more on average than professionally taken photos. Again, because they have that credibility behind it, that there's a person, a real person taking that picture that has no affiliation with the store. And the fourth technique that I'll tell you guys to get today about how to increase conversion rates is about adding a live chat to your store. Okay. Now, by adding a live chat, I don't mean these type of forms. This is actually just a form that connects you to your internal customer support. I mean something like this. So a chat where hopefully there will be someone behind reading your message, and will be able to get back to you hopefully in real time. I know that this might require someone working full time for you to answer these questions, answer these inquiries from customers, but the benefits are incredible. So first of all, it allows you to handle customer objections in real time. So if a customer has a question about, let's say, sizes or shipping, and well, sometimes people are just not going to go to the shipping information page and read it. If they have a chat option, they'll just go and right away and ask you directly there. So we as humans, we have a very short attention span. I mean, who knows how many of the people who's in the room right now still listening to what I'm saying. Hopefully that all of you, but we do have a very short attention span, and so it's very important to try to get your customers while they are in your store and before they leave. So try to make sure that they're excited, and they're excited to talk to someone about it. And if they have any sort of question, sort of objection, don't send them to their shipping information page, or don't send them to an FAQ. Try to have someone that can talk to them directly and hopefully close the sale. And this also obviously prevents customers from leaving the store if maybe they can find the answer, or they haven't even looked for it. That doesn't matter. I mean, you need to try to be there for when customers need information about your product or about your service, and don't let them leave without actually getting to talk to you or don't let them leave just because they haven't found what they were looking for. So this is some examples that I brought to you guys. So Monetates is an e-commerce personalization and A/B testing platform. So one of their e-commerce clients, they realized that by adding a live chat, they increased the average order value of their customers by 3% on average, which equal over $100,000 at the end of the year. And so again, very important, especially in this case, it wasn't even conversion; it was about increasing the average order value. And that probably means that these customers who were going to buy something went to the chat and asked, hey, is there any sort of deal? Is there any sort of like a way that I can make the shipping faster, or is there any way that I can add this other product to my cart? Whatever it is, even if they have some sort of issue, they'll be there to talk to you. And so they found out that, yeah, that just by adding a live chat and being able to talk to their customers in real time, they were able to increase the average order value. Another company, this is actually a B2B company, it's texting. They implemented a live chat and they saw signups increase by 31%. Why? Because their customers landed to the website and maybe they had some questions about it. So they went directly to the live chat, especially as a B2B company. Maybe they have very specific questions about, hey, look, we're using this platform. Are you guys integrated with this platform? Is there any way I can migrate from this existing platform to yours? Whatever it is, they probably were able to get in touch with someone at the texting team and take it from there and hopefully close the sale right there. So again, adding live chat, I know it can require a lot of work in terms of having someone working full time, probably answering these inquiries, but it definitely pays off. All right, so we talk about conversion rates. Now it's time to talk about website traffic. So website traffic, a very scientific definition of website traffic will be the amount of data sent and received by visitors to a website, but we can also say that it's probably the number of visitors that your website is receiving. So again, this is another topic that deserves an entire webinar, but our time today is limited. And so actually, we'll just leave this probably for future webinars. So I brought you guys two different ways that you can increase your website traffic. One of them is through SEO. It's probably one of the most famous ones. And I also brought somewhat about influencer marketing. So I don't know how many of you in the room, actually, I would like to ask you guys, how many of you who are listening right now are running your own e-commerce store? And for those of you that say yes, how many of you are already using influencer marketing, or are you in contact with some influencers, let's say on Instagram or bloggers or whatever it is? I would love to hear that for when we get to this point. Let's start with SEO. So SEO is the process of affecting the visibility of a website in a web search engine, but most importantly, doing it without paying for ads. So just by optimizing your website so it appears higher on Google, basically. And this is very important because studies shows and research shows that over 30% of all e-commerce traffic originates from SEO. And so this is something that you really should take into consideration when optimizing your store, because at the end of the day, I mean, the rules are designed by Google, and we have to play under those rules. And so you have to make sure that when someone searches for your product on Google, you appear high enough that they show up on that they land on your website, so hopefully at the first position. So there's two main ways. Obviously, there's a lot more, but there's two main ways that you can optimize your SEO. One of them is through your content marketing strategy, and then the second one versus just adding to your content strategy. You also need to focus on how you improve your website infrastructure, so Google can read it better, and Google can actually certify, okay, this company deserves, or this website deserves to be at the top of the search results. So content strategy. I would say that the key right now in terms of content, it's video. Both Google and actually Facebook are giving priority to video over text and over images. So that's something that if you can come up with video content about, hopefully, obviously, it will be high quality video. So if you can come up with video content for your product, for your company, for your service, whatever it is that you're selling online, that's actually great, because Google is gonna read that and it's gonna make you appear higher on search results. Then the content. the long form content is actually something that it's really dominating right now, and something that Google really appreciates. So actually those product pages with just a little bit of content, and just just enough information about the product, they are not working so well as they used to. Actually, right now, product pages like the ones from Amazon are the ones that Google likes the most. So these are product pages that have a lot of content, a lot of information. The description, it's long enough, and so it's actually also includes a lot of variety of content that your customers can choose from. So as you can see here, you can obviously you can read reviews, you can read the description, you can search for different pictures, you can maybe read case studies, whatever it is, as much content as you can offer to your customers. Actually, that's something that Google's gonna appreciate from you. And then the second, it's your website infrastructure. So that's something that things as page loading speed. So make sure that your website loads fast enough, that it's easy to navigate. So that again, that it's not super complicated to find the menu or to browse from products, or like the product fee is actually easy to understand, it's easy to navigate. All these type of things need to be very clear. There's actually tons of ways that you can optimize this, but just keep it in mind that it has to be easy to navigate, and also obviously that has to be mobile friendly. I mean, this is something that if your website is now mobile friendly, that's something that Google is really not going to tolerate, and so you need to really look into this. Also look obviously within your own internal stats, see how many of your customers are buying or making purchases or visits through their cell phones, and you can obviously adjust this, but your website has to be mobile friendly. That's something that it's a must nowadays. And something that I wanted to talk to you guys about is about influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is something that it's obviously not as not as old as SEO, but it's something that a lot of companies are doing right now. So this is an example from Blender's Eyewear, which is a company that we actually talked to recently, and they were giving us their insights on how they started with influencer marketing. The interesting part of influencer marketing is the fact that it's kind of halfway between an ad and a friend referral, and I'll explain why. So when we see an ad or we see a product that it's been a feature or it's being endorsed by a celebrity, it could be a sports star, it could be an actor, whatever it is, these people, um, if the product ends up being bad, you're not going to blame it on the celebrity that was endorsing it. Because it's, well, that's not what they do. They don't endorse products for a living, but influencers do. So influencers are people that, although they are kind of public figures at some point, they have built their credibility, or they have built their follower base. Let's say, actually, that would be better to say that they have built their follower base based on credibility, based on the fact that they are experts on a specific field, based on the fact that they are very knowledgeable about something in particular. And so when they recommend products, even if they're getting paid for it, I mean, we probably know that in this case in particular, this Instagram influencer, she probably got paid. She probably got some sort of compensation for putting that picture of Blender's Eyewear on her Instagram. But still, she is probably an expert in lifestyle or in fashion, and so the fact that she's endorsing a product actually gives some sort of credibility to the product itself. So this is something a lot of companies, especially companies in the fashion industry in the clothing or lifestyle brands, are actually following right now. Is the fact that they're including. This is actually a screenshot from a company that obviously you can see they sell sunglasses, and they have the product feed, but they also have these Instagram feed, and these are real people. These are not models. These are people that got in touch with Hawkers, which is the name of the brand, and they landed some sort of influencer deal with them, and now they're posting pictures on their own Instagram, taking showing the product, showing how the product works. So in this case, actually, if we go back real quick, I'll show you this picture right here on the bottom right corner of the screen. If you click on that, it will take you to this page, which is kind of like a bridge page between Instagram and a product page. And so here you can see that the original picture that she posted on her Instagram, which is actually this one. And because she is an influencer, even though she, in this case in particular, you don't have to go after the big fish. This is something that we'll talk in a little bit. If you're working with influencers, you don't have to go after those influencers that have millions of followers. You can start with small influencers like this one. She had, when I checked her Instagram, she had about a couple thousand followers. So it's a small influencer, but still, it could actually help you make a difference on the number of customers that you get. So if you want to get started on influencer marketing, something that I recommend is that, first of all, you carefully select your first customer. So go back to what I just said. Try to go, if you're not a huge brand, try to go after influencers that are accessible for you, because they either are from the same town that you're, or the same city that you're located at, or because they are accessible in terms of that they're not huge influencers. They don't have lots of followers yet, so you can get in touch with them and tell them more about your product and tell them more about your project and start a conversation with them, basically, which is try to keep it personal, try to keep it, hey, look, this is our product, this is what we do, we'll love you for you to be a part of it. And so try to make them excited about joining your project, more than just, hey, how much am I going to pay, am I going to get paid? You really want partners on this, and obviously reward them for spreading the word about your store, and also reward the new customers that they will be generating as well. So something that most companies do is that they provide influencers with a discount coupon that they can put on either on their blogs or on their YouTube videos, on their Instagram pictures, with a coupon code that new customers can apply when they make a purchase. So in this case, the influencer will get a commission, and the new customers will also get some sort of discount. And the last thing that we'll be talking about in this first part of the webinar is about email opt-in conversion rate, and why it's so important. Actually, it's something that kind of will be talking about in more details later. So email opt-in conversion rates, it's basically when you're given the option to receive emails, whether from an email list or newsletter or advertising, etc. Basically, when they give you the option to join an email list. So there's two ways that we're going to see how you can increase this conversion rates in terms of email opt-in, because emails, it's something that you should really go after, in the sense that if you have a visitor that is looking at your website and they leave without making a purchase, try to at least get an email from them so you can get in touch with them in the future. Obviously, there's retargeting for ads, and there's a lot of different things that you can do to get in touch with these customers in the future, but email is probably the most personal one, and you can make sure that if you send them an email after they land on your website, that they're going to receive that email, and if you send them an offer, they'll receive it. So it's still a very personal way to get in touch with website visitors. So adding an opt-in offer, it's crucial. Obviously, giving an email, it's not something that requires effort or requires money or anything like that, but we are still not so sure about leaving our email everywhere, because everyone hates spam. And so try to give something in exchange. You know that once you put your email in one of these forms, you're going to start receiving marketing emails about the store, but try to offer your customers something in exchange, because like I said, everyone knows now that what it means to leave your email on a website. So giving something in exchange for doing it, it could be an offer that it's, again, keep it simple. That's what I mentioned here, is the fact that make them understand very quickly what your proposition is about. So here you can give a $5 off on their first order. This other option here is about, well, they don't tell you exactly what they're going to give you, but they just say that, look, we're going to keep you posted on new product releases, and we're going to give you special offers, etc. This is actually another example. This is one of the examples I showed before for user-generated content. Again, basically a very simple form. Sign up and get $10 off. Simple to remember. And well, even if you're not super interested in the product right now, as a visitor, you might just leave it because, well, let's see what they can offer me in the future. So and sometimes people sign up for these type of email list because it's like, well, why not? What do I lose just by leaving my email? And whenever I want to buy something, I'll have that discount waiting for me. And then the last thing we'll be talking about today in the first part of the webinar, it's about how you can increase the email opt-in conversion rate, and basically how to ask for emails more aggressively. Okay. So there's several ways that you can do this. You can do it through welcome gates. So all this example I'm going to show you actually are pop-ups. And again, Kata will be talking about this in a little bit. You can use welcome gates, which is something pop-ups that shows up after you visit the website for a couple seconds. You can use exit intent pop-ups. They actually they actually work well because it's you have the customers about to leave. It's like your last chance to get the customers to stay on your website. And so even if they're gonna leave, say, hey, look, just I know you're gonna leave, but just leave your email here, and we'll send you a message with a discount that you can apply on your next purchase. Okay, so that's something that you can use as well. So you can combine an offer specifically with this exit intent pop-ups, and you can try new things. There's actually a lot of different ways to attract your customers' attention, and this is one of them. These are our roulettes where you can run like giveaways for those people that are just landing on your website that are not even your customers. And so, obviously, I will only recommend this if your audience fits the type of this type of rewards and this type of games. So depending on the type of audience that you have, depending on the type of product that you have, you have some sort of like a fun product like game related, you can also use something like that again that matches your audience profile. All right, so let's go over the summary. So we've talked about using high quality images, trust seals, UGC, which is user generated content, and maybe potentially thinking about using a live chat to increase conversion rates. These are things that you can start doing right away. Focus on improving your SEO for better website traffic, and also try out influencer marketing. There's ways that you can get started with small influencers. If you're not a big brand, that's something you can start doing pretty much right away. And if you want to increase email opt-in conversion rates, think about offering opt-in offers and asking for emails more aggressively to those people who are just landing on your website for the first time. All right. So we're gonna go over with Kata again. If you guys have any questions, we'll have some time at the end of the webinar. Kata, whenever you're ready, we are.
Yes, I am. I'm ready.
Sounds good. All right.
You can
So
start.
I'm gonna leave you guys with Kata, and I'll see you at the end of the webinar.
All right, really nice. So basically, thank you very much, Raul, for your presentation. It was really insightful. And I'm very happy that you were talking about the chat and you were talking about pop-ups in general, because as for the chat, we also experience the chats usually convert on a very high rate. So I can only agree with Raul here and recommend everyone to give a try to chat platforms, because they do work well. All right, and talking about the pop-ups and emails. Well, basically, just before moving to the details and get started and sharing the tactics that I've collected for you that you can implement right away, let me just briefly summarize what OptiMonk is and how it works, because there might be some people here who are not yet familiar with the service itself. So just to get started, let's go back to the very beginning, how you can get visitors to your website. Raul has also mentioned a few tactics about it, and my presentation is not going to cover this topic, but the main reason why I still wish to talk about your traffic on the website is the conversion rate of the traffic that you generate. So basically, opening a new web store is quite easy, or at least more easier than generating traffic and generating sales. So based on some resources, about 2% of your visitors are going to finish checking out from your website. So it also means that 98% of your visitors are going to leave your website without taking any actions. Even those visitors you have had to pay for, like those who come through Google AdWords or Facebook ads. So the only question is, why would you leave your or let your visitors leave your website when you have tools that you can use and that can stop them doing so? So I'm quite sure that quite a lot of you have already heard about off-site retargeting, which basically means that after somebody left your website, you are able to still show your messages to your visitors or past-time visitors, so that you can grab their attention again and you can make them come back to your website so that they can finish that purchase. Offsite retargeting is quite effective because you can, of course, convert some of your lost visitors. And because of that, it's very advised to use it. However, there is an even more effective way to save your visitors. And here at Optimonk, we call it on-site retargeting, which basically means that we, instead of focusing on your past-time visitors, we just focus on your real-time visitors. Just as in the examples that Raul mentioned, right before your visitors leave your website, you still have a chance to communicate to them. And with on-site retargeting, you can, because of that, you can get results real-time immediately. Basically, why on-site retargeting is more effective than off-site retargeting is that it's much more easier to make your visitors stay and to make your visitors act right away than grabbing their attention once they left your website and making them come back to finish the action that they just stopped before. But it's also very important to mention here that off-site retargeting and on-site retargeting together can really be powerful. So it's best to use the two together. All right, so as for a summary for this part, as I've mentioned before, about 98% of your visitors leave your website without taking any actions. And with Optimonk, which is the #1 on-site retargeting tool, you can save up to 15% of your visitors, of your abandoning visitors, so that you can generate some more sales and leads immediately. How does Optimonk work? Well, actually, it's quite easy. It works by monitoring the behavior of your visitors. So whenever a new visitor comes to your website, Optimonk simply starts to collect information about your visitors' attitude and behavior. So it collects and saves information like what kind of pages they were checking out, what products they have checked, how many pages they've looked at, how much time they spent on your website, whether they have something in the cart or not, and so on. And whenever their behavior indicates that they are kind of ready to get some extra messages, like in this example, 10% off if they sign up for a newsletter, the pop-up is displayed to them. So here you can see a very brief summary of a case study that we've created about Zushu. They've been using Optimonk for quite a while now, and as you can see, when we created this case study, they could increase their revenue by 7.5%, and they could also generate an extra 5,400 subscribers in 2 months. Here is another example. This store decided to not just simply give a 10% off to their cart abandoners, but they also set up a time. So it was a limited offer, which was only valid for 15 minutes. However, they didn't ask for an email address in exchange. And as you can see it here, they could generate an extra 600 new transactions, which led to an 8% revenue growth and a 17% cart abandonment rate decrease, which is also very important. And as an extra, they could also generate 3,175 new subscribers, of course, with another campaign which was running at the same time. So they were like running parallelly. And all of these results were achieved within 3 months. All right, so just to give you a very general background information about how it looks like in practice. First of all, you need to just decide what kind of purpose you wish to support. And when you decided that, you need to pick a template, basically. So these templates can serve different scenarios. These are inbuilt, ready to be used templates. And once you've just decided what you wish to achieve, for example, recommending some more products to your visitors, you just need to edit the design of it. So you are free to edit the content, you are free to edit the pictures and everything. So after a few clicks and after a few minutes spent here, you will have a pop-up with a design which perfectly meets your requirements and fits your website. So once you're done, all you need to do is just to decide who should see the pop-up and when should the pop-up be displayed. So the when should the pop-up be displayed section covers basically the triggering options like exit intent, which was already mentioned by Raul, or the time-based, so that if you wish to set up a welcome pop-up, just like the one that Raul showed you as an example, so one that comes up right after your visitor arrives to your website, you can also use the time-based option. Or you can also show different messages based on scrolling down, or on click. And the who should see the pop-up section will let you set up how you wish to segment the pop-up itself. So who you would like to display this pop-up to. So instead of broadcasting the very same message to everyone, you can just simply segment your visitors. All right, so I've brought some best practices for you. The first few tips are going to cover how to increase your sales generally. And the number one tip here, or number one tactic here, is card-based segmentation. So actually, lots of customers start to use Optimum because they just want to have better results. So they don't want to have an e-commerce store which has a lot of traffic, but they want a high converting store. And many of them experience that they have a lot of visitors and still only a few of them make a purchase. Those 2% that I was talking about earlier. Even if someone puts a product to their cart, it doesn't guarantee that they are going to finish the purchase. So that's why we've created this card-based segmentation option with Optimum. So on this slide, you can see two examples. The one on the left is a simple reminder which doesn't give any discounts to your visitor and doesn't ask anything from the visitor. It's a simple reminder, making your visitors notice that actually they have put something to their cart and they just forgot about it. Leaving the cart behind can have multiple reasons. And one of them is this, that people just put something to their cart and after that they spend a lot of time on your website because they are browsing around. Maybe they are not yet sure what they are looking for and things like that, and they just put something to the cart to save it, and then they forget about it. So reminding your visitors who spend a lot of time on your website is always a good idea, and it's always worth a try. The other example on the right, it's a little bit different. They provided a $4.25 store credit. This is also a limited offer, which was available for 15 minutes as well. So those who were about to leave the website could use this coupon code up. Also, they didn't have to sign up for a newsletter here. They just received the coupon code. And the reason for that is that the most important rule for card-based segmentation is to keep it simple. So it's better not to ask too much from your visitors. It's always better to focus only on one thing, which is to convince them to buy. So those who already have something to their cart are open to finish the purchase, and because of that, it's better to simply provide them ready to be used one-time offer like a coupon code, and to simply create a very clear, very straightforward CTA that they can understand easily and act right away. All right, another best practice Another best practice here is to leverage the power of urgency, the timer that I've mentioned a couple of times. So since your visitors have already decided that they are going to check out, making the sense of urgency is always very powerful in these cases. So these kind of pop-ups are usually very, very effective, and they also have a lot of very good results because they have a good effect on your average order value, and they can also have a very good effect on your cart abandonment rate. And the other way to make your visitors purchase or to increase your average order value is the second point here, which is to recommend products to your visitors. So basically, you can see that you have multiple options. You can decide whether to show 3 different products to your visitors or only 1 product to your visitor, and they can be used for different purposes. For instance, you can simply decide to display general information, like to display the best or the most popular products to your visitors, so that they can get informed, they might be interested, and they might want to check out those products that you recommend to them. Or you can make it more precise, you can make it more specific, and for instance, if you have a high converting product page and your visitor is browsing that high converting product page currently, and clicks on the add to cart button, so that they decide to buy that product that you are offering there, it's always wise to show another pop-up which will recommend them another product which can be a good fit with the one which is already in the cart. So in this case, following this scenario, you can also use this kind of product recommendation for upselling purposes. Okay, well, since I'm here, I've worked with quite a number of customers who wanted to have high traffic on their site. And to achieve this, they just usually open to new channels to generate some more visitors. And I'm quite sure that lots of you are also using Facebook ads and Google AdWords and things like that, which is great because these elements simply cannot be missed from a marketing strategy. The only problem is that they usually cost a lot, and in many cases, it's difficult to convert your leads coming from these different sources. One of the reasons might be because they have different information based on the source they are coming from. So because of that, you should consider to treat them differently. And those customers or those visitors who come from sources like Google AdWords or Google Organic, which are like more hot traffic sources, it's wise to provide them a more convincing incentive to stay on the website and finish the purchase, so that you are not going to waste, so-called waste, the money that you invested in getting the traffic through these paid sources, but you are going to generate sales out of them, which is usually the main purpose. So as you can see in these examples, one of them provided a free shipping, also with a time limitation, and the other one also provided a free shipping, but they asked for an email address in exchange. All right. If you're talking about shipping, and if you are shipping internationally as well, it's also very important to make it very clear to your visitors. So even if your visitor is highly interested in the product that you can offer to them, they might change their mind if they are just not sure enough whether they will be able to receive the order or not, whether you will be able to ship it to them or not. However, simply covering your whole website with different information regarding shipping is not that effective either. But with geo IP targeting, you can simply detect the country your visitors are browsing from. So using this piece of information, you can show different pop-ups to your visitors. We are shipping to Canada, for instance, if your visitor is from Canada. The fifth tip here is to remind to visitors who opted into an offer. It's very important to remember that just because somebody signed up for a newsletter list, for instance, to receive 10% off, it doesn't mean that they are going to use the coupon. So because of that, we've created nanobars. And nanobars are a little bit different than pop-ups because they are like sticky notification bars that are attached to the button or to the top of your website, and they just simply don't disappear. So they don't block browsing, and they don't disappear until someone converts with them, meaning that they click on the button which is on the nanobar, or until someone closes them by the close the next button. So using the nanobar, you can always display the coupon code to your visitors that they've signed up for. And as for the sixth tip for today is to increase your list of subscribers. It's I'm very happy that Roel was also talking about, and it's very important to mention that generating more leads by making them subscribe to your newsletter list is essential. That's how you can build the most profitable long-term relationship with your customers. This is how you can engage them and make them think of you first when they need something that you can also provide to them. A lot of e-commerce store owners suffer from the problem that they have quite a lot of visitors, first-time visitors, but they usually don't come back, or only a very few % of first-time visitors come back to the website later. But if you communicate to these visitors frequently via email, you can just simply make them come back, and you can turn your first-time visitors into returning visitors so that you can increase the level of engagement of these visitors. What is more, there are some cases when it's better to build the relationship slowly and only offer an ebook or some other information to your visitors. So only offer them a sign up form, then asking them to finish the purchase on your website. So those who don't know too much about you, who are still just looking for information, who are still in the process of discovering who you are and how you can help you or what you can offer to them, they usually are not ready to finish a purchase, and educating them actually makes you an expert in their mind. So it's always better to choose this kind of communication in this case. And for those who don't subscribe to your newsletter list, but leave your website and then they come back, you can still use the nanobar. So the nanobar also has an email subscription function. So as for a second channel, you can always convert your returning visitors who are not yet on your subscription list as well. Okay, so now that we've talked a lot about campaigns and different kind of segmentations, let's just simply talk about prospects, about how to communicate to your visitors. So first of all, it's very important that before setting up any of your campaigns, you just need to spend some time about separating hot prospects from cold prospects. And I've brought you some ideas that you can take into consideration when you're doing it. First one is the traffic source. So hot prospects, they usually come from hot traffic sources like search engines or newsletters and so on. While cold prospects, they usually come from cold traffic sources like display ads, Facebook posts, cold emails, as you can see it here. The other thing that you can consider is the keywords that they are searching for. Like, for instance, hot prospects are going to search for product-related keywords by cold prospects who are still in the process of getting more information about you. They are going to use generic keywords. The third one that you can take into account is the content they are browsing. For hot prospects, they are already prepared to make a purchase because they have a lot of information about you. So they are going to search for product pages and shipping information. While cold prospects, they still need some resources. They wish to browse among your articles and so on. And last but not least, it's also wise to see whether your visitor is a new visitor or a returning one. Returning visitors or existing customers are hot prospects, while new visitors are usually cold prospects. So once you could make a clear separation between the two groups of prospects, you need to consider that about 90% of your visitors are going to be cold prospects. It doesn't mean that they are not good prospects or that they will not be good customers. It just means that they are still not on the stage of engagement, and you still have a lot to do with them to make them trust you, to make them understand what you are and what you can offer to them, and so on. And because of that, it's wise to treat these two groups of prospects differently. Since hot prospects are already prepared to make a purchase mentally, emotionally, and financially as well, you can just simply provide them a discount if they are about to leave your website, so that you can give them something that they can use to finish the purchase. But for cold prospects, they are not yet ready to make the purchase. So it's better not to ask them to do so. So it's better to educate them. It's better to give them more information so that you can start building your relationship with them. And after a while, they are going to turn to hot prospects as well. All right, so as for a summary, we've covered quite a lot of topics today. First, we were talking about off-site versus on-site retargeting, and then I've brought you 6 different tactics that you can implement right away, like card-based segmentation, product recommendation, source-based segmentation, and geo-targeting. And the last one was reminding your visitors who opted in and increasing your list of subscribers. These 2 were about how to generate some more leads on your e-commerce store. And last but not least, we were talking about how to separate hot and cold prospects and why it's important to do so, and how to communicate after you could identify your hot and cold prospects. So basically that's it for today, I guess. We've created a special offer for you, which is, as Raul already mentioned, and I'm quite sure that we are also, we are going to talk about it in a few minutes from now. Mm-hmm. But the special offer for now is that if you sign up for the 14-day free trial, you are getting an extra 14 days for free. So all you need to do after signing up is to write an email to support@optimum.com and ask for the extension. So thank you very much, and just don't forget to stop losing customers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kata. It was actually a great presentation. I actually have a question. I don't know if you guys do, but I do have a question for Kata. So first of all, I really liked what you said about keep the communication slow with the customers. By the way, guys, before I dive into the questions, again, if you have any questions, this is the perfect timing. We have about 2 minutes, left on the webinar. I just put here on the chat box both the offer and referral candy and Optimonk, so you can get them both of the links, so you can click on them and sign up and get these extended trials both on referral candy and Optimonk. But yeah, in the meantime, will we get some questions? Kata, something I wanted to mention is that I really liked what you said about keep the communication slow with your customers after they sign up to your email list, because I feel like a lot of e-commerce stores, and I've seen this by talking to e-commerce store owners, that once they get an email, they just right away they want to send me an offer, and there's no way for them to tell whether that person is ready to make a purchase or not. And I'm pretty sure everyone here in the audience, whether we are e-commerce store owners or users, we have probably signed up because we wanted to maybe stay in touch. Maybe we didn't want to make the purchase right away for many reasons. Maybe we didn't have the budget. Whatever the reason is, we just wanted to stay in touch with the company. But we got a discount code right away. And again, without even knowing if I'm ready to buy or not yet. So I like what you said. And my question here will be, when do you think it's better, as an e-commerce store owner? Okay, like, is there any sort of um, details or like type of products that you should be looking at in terms of when is it better to offer something such as a discount, or when is it better to offer something for free, like an ebook, like you mentioned before, instead? When do you think you should have one situation or another?
Okay, well, so if a visitor seems to be very interested, meaning that they spend a lot of time on your website. For instance, if the average time spent on your website is 2 minutes, just to say a number, and the visitor has been browsing the website for at least 1.5, 2, or even more minutes, it means that they are searching for information. They are trying to get to know you better, and if these visitors have checked out several of your product pages as well, or if these visitors have checked your FAQs and shipping information and so on, it's wise to give them a discount.
Right.
However, if your product is a little bit more complicated than usual, and the reason behind searching for so long might be that the visitors just simply doesn't understand how the product works.
The required education, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So if you have complicated products, it's wise to educate them first. And since even if you give an ebook to your visitors because you wish to educate them, you can just simply put a coupon code at the very last page of the ebook. So if they read it, they still have the chance to go and convert into sales.
Right. Exactly. No, that's a great idea, and I really liked, again, I really like what you mentioned about building a relationship with your customers, not just go for the sale right away, like treat it as, look, we're gonna give you information, we're gonna give you education about the product, and different ways on how you can get in touch with your customers. And so we are running a little bit over time right now, so we have one question that we're going to answer. So it says, hey, is there, Sofian actually is asking, hey, is there a better way than just giving a discount to not to lower the value of your product? So product inflate feeling. Thank you in advance. I feel like that's kind of like we were discussing, right? Like when is it a good idea to give a discount to your customers? Actually, I saw a report the other day that said that maybe you have more data on this. I can't remember the source, but this is something I read that says that email opt-in offers that have lower offers, let's say like a 5% discount, have better conversion rates than those that give like 20 or 30%. I don't know if you came across something like this as well.
Yes, yes, I have, and the reason behind that is the one which was in the question as well. So if product is too cheap or can be sold 20% cheaper, it means that it just cheapens the product itself.
Exactly.
So using coupon codes can be very effective, but of course you have to be careful, and it's also important to mention that it's not wise to show coupon codes for those who are in the checking out process, for instance, because that's a very common mistake, that people just show product coupon codes to those who are about to check out on their own. So you shouldn't do that. Those visitors, those visitors who wish to finish it on their own, let them do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for joining us, Kata. It was a pleasure to have you here. Hope that we repeat this in the future. We'll love to. There's a lot of information that we can still give about all this e-commerce metrics that we were talking today. So I'd love to have you again in the future. So again, Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. See you next time, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.